because I did I laddered Barkley and Pollard's rushing yards.
Okay.
So I got Pollard starting at like 20, at 50 all the way to 100, but it was like
Hmm.
his hundred. If he hits 100 yards rushing, it's literally like plus 5 to 1.
Mm.
So it's worth the little risk.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Detroit's about to put it in again.
Yeah, the Lions are good this year.
Yeah, and nope. Uh, I got red zone on one, and I actually have the game on the other.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because the red zone, I want to see the touchdowns at the end.
Oh, okay.
All right, and it looks like the Giants get the ball back. Yep, Giants got the ball back.
Yeah, because before I logged in, I heard that they have forced a turnover on downs.
Yeah, they went for it on fourth down, and they stopped Tony.
Yeah, I believe it.
Not really. I don't know. They're not playing fundamentally sound.
Who, Dallas?
Yeah, I mean they're hawking it to fucking CD, and no one's stopping CD right now. But other than that, like they're doing nothing. Like the middle of the field is getting
Yeah.
completely bombarded.
Yeah. Like right now, I think I'm like 3-4 because I do a pick on 3-5 right now in my um in my little online pick on.
Yeah, I was gonna say on the pod you're 3-5 right now.
Yeah.
You need Arizona to win.
Yeah, I do. And the Lions.
Well, it doesn't really matter because honestly, the only one that's catching up to you right now is John. Because
No, I
Ryan,
need oh no, I need the Falcons to win. I took the Falcons.
yeah, no, you never changed it.
I could have sworn I said I took the Falcons.
I thought I mean you said Arizona, but then I was like, well, this is a fade,
Mm-mm.
Kyler.
No, I think I had switched it to the Falcons.
All right, well, no big deal.
Okay.
Because I remember you saying you weren't sure, but you never gave me a definitive.
Yeah, yeah. No, I could have sworn I said Atlanta.
You originally took Arizona, and I said this is a fade Kyler Murray spot, and you go, oh, you just changed my mind. But there
Yeah,
wasn't a
I
but there
said
wasn't
Atlanta.
yeah, but there wasn't a definite, like, I didn't know, I didn't put it down. There wasn't a definite, oh, I'm taking Arizona, like, I'm taking Atlanta. It's
Yeah,
fired too. That's the funny part.
right. All right, I'm ready when you are.
Let me see. All right, cool. That's set up in three, two, one.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and happy Monday. I hope the weekend was good to you, and I hope the start of the week was also great to you. It is Monday, November 13th, 2023, and it's another episode of Monday Evening Quarterback. My name is Christian Simpson, and I am the creator, I'm the founder, I'm the NFL and college football analyst, blogger, radio contributor, and a lover of all things football for a company called The Daily Blitz, where we specialize in all things football 24/7, 365. Here, then this episode is on Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Blog Talk Radio, and of course, the Nerdport Network. And if you're liking what you're hearing, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the podcast or subscribe to the website, which I will promote at the end of the episode, which is the Daily Blitz blog. It's going to be another jam-packed show. Excuse me. Of course, there was a wild day in college football. Another typical yet wild day in the NFL. We're going to preview Monday Night Football between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills, because I just think Buffalo was a weird team. We're going to go to the phone lines. I'm going to answer some questions. I'm going to promote. And That's going to be the show. I'm going to go and I'm going to do the prime. And as always, I am not alone. Ronnie, what's going on?
What's going on?
Oh man, just another day in paradise. Wild day in college on Saturday, huh?
You ain't gotta tell me twice.
So I say we just dive right into it. Let's go to Happy Valley. Um, Michigan, Penn State. Michigan's been playing with that chip on their shoulder all year long. Um, they win those games without Jim Harbaugh early on, and they did. Jim comes back. They don't miss a beat. Now, because of recent news and accusations, a sign stealing scandal. Try saying that like 3 times in a row. Um, Jim Harbaugh has been suspended for the remainder of the regular season. Now, from what I read, he can coach and guide practice, but on game days, he cannot be anywhere near his football team. I've seen a lot of mixed emotions on this. You know, Rich Eisen yesterday morning, I know he's a Michigan alum, and I know he made a comment during the telecast because he was calling the Colts and Patriots game in Germany, and Charles Woodson, who is another Michigan alum, Pro Football Hall of Famer, said he had some choice words for it on Fox Big Noon Kickoff on Saturday. But what's your take on all this, Ronnie?
I personally think the fact that everyone's been stealing signs. Everyone does.
Yeah.
But I hate hearing these people get on their high horse about, oh, well, we need to purify the game. We need to make sure that, no. If you're dumb enough to have them figure out what signs you're calling, you deserve to get them taken.
Exactly.
Like, it's not that hard. Guess what? I'll tell you right now, we're going to, I don't know if you saw this, but I guarantee you give it a year, let them figure it out. Have you seen the thing that AT&T has been working on?
No, I have not.
So they have there's been commercials all over college football about this, but it is a device that hangs off the top and goes right over your eye. And it is a directly 5G Wi-Fi connected right to a tablet by the coach that can call out signals it's made for deaf football players.
Really? Nah, I didn't know.
So they can see what the play is, and if especially there's a deaf quarterback that's in high school, if he can see what it is, he can change the play on the fly and figure it out. That's kind of where if that works out and there's no glitches in this, we're gonna go to this. We're gonna stop with the 3 people on the sidelines. We're gonna have a coach call it from there. You're going to get, if they need to audible, you're going to get him to audible it from his tablet in there, and it's going to be the same thing like with the headphones in the things at 10 seconds, they're going to turn it off.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't hear anything about this.
That's where we're going to, because in all honesty, everyone's like, oh, well, the pitch this. It's been going on since the dawn of time that people are trying to steal signs. Christ, I know so many people when I used to play, you try to pick up on. It's the same thing, like, okay, so if you know that a guy is pitching in baseball, if you know a guy is pitching a slider on the second strike, aren't you sitting on a slider when you have 2 strikes on you? Everyone wants an advantage. It's not, oh, well, they're ruining the game. No, sports are chess matches.
Yeah, it is, and you want to have one up on your opponent.
So, and the fact that, oh, this all happened, they used to suspend Harbaugh, and then the Harbaugh-less Michigan Wolverines come out and curb stomp Penn State.
They didn't curb stomp them. I mean, they only won.
No. In the second half, they destroyed them.
Yeah, they did. But and that's a good segue right there. So, that was the game of the week on paper. Pretty much an elimination game for Penn State because it had been a 3-team race in the Big Ten East between Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Penn State already played Ohio State, and they lost that one. And my problem with Penn State is they lack explosiveness over the top. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't have that big playmaking ability, whereas Ohio State does. I mean, Ohio State arguably has the best player in college football right now, in Marvin Harrison Jr., and they have another serviceable receiver on the other side, in Meqb. Michigan, Michigan has their share of weapons in Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson and Copeland and Loveland. Yeah. Penn State doesn't have that. They barely got him the ball because Penn State's always been good at ball control. Outs. Looking at looking for Saturday. JJ McCarthy, 60 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions, but it was 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Donovan Edwards, Johnson was the leading receiver with 24 yards, 70 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. Michigan did a pretty score of 24-15. Of course, Jim wasn't. Michigan did what they had to do. They're playing with that us against the world mentality. College football showdown or even the betting window to see what the weaknesses of this football team. They don't have any strides, not only as a leader but as a quarterback. They have per mouth. So with that being said, another, they're gonna be there. Game day is gonna be at the big house, right? And they're gonna be there too, because last year when game day was at the shoe, the two do coincide, and because I remember when I went to game day a couple of years there as well. Look, it was an ugly game, but to the ball.
Yeah.
And
it looks like Iowa.
Oh, so they're gonna play Cade McNamara next week.
And then they get their game against Nebraska, but they get a share that in after beating Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
But they look like and if they don't, they can technically, if they lose the next 2 games, it would be Nebraska. That would get the number.
Yeah. So again, Michigan went on the road and back on Saturday, but Michigan did a pretty good job of neutralizing him. We talked about that. Alabama. No, you had mentioned them. Alabama, they have won the SEC West. Again, a year Alabama after the loss to Texas, but they've been playing some good football since he was threatened to be benched and he ran for 3. And we all, you know it, and I know it. Lexington isn't an easy place to score of 48 to 49 to 21. 49.
Passing 15 for 22 for 234 with these 36 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a long of 16.
So, because he was running all over LSU. Remember we were talking about that last week. SEC West. And tell me if you've heard this before. The Georgia game is already.
What is it? 3 of them. 3 of them are already. I have them pulled up. So Friday we're getting the Conference USA title.
Right.
That's it for legit. But then you have Toledo locked one up.
Let's talk about that Georgia game, because Saturday night, all year, they got some reinforcements back. Brock Bowers this year. It seems like every time I see him play, he's just getting better in yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And Kendall Mills, 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. 59 yards. Both Milton and Edwards each had 2 touchdowns. Lad McConkey, Bowers was in. Yeah, he caught a touchdown pretty much in garbage time because the game was way out of reach.
The other thing is just to make sure to see if his ankle would hold up.
No, he looked pretty good because that route.
Definitely the jump cuts.
Yeah. Jordan made things interesting, but then once I heard that crowd kind of amp it up that, and Georgia just took over and they never looked.
Okay.
The Pac-12, the Washington Huskies. since that Oregon win. Yes, they're 10-0, but they had to struggle. They struggled against Utah. It's basic football knowledge. When you have a path to score, cross the pylon. Um,
He dropped it.
he dropped it. Don't drop the ball. Got to hold on to the ball, young man. Score of 35 to 28. That's right. 4 of 42, 332 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And 1 touchdown. And Roma Dunze, 3 receptions, 137 yards per catch, Ronnie. But the problem with Washington is their defense. Since Kalen DeBoer took over, but they still give up.
What's funny is that should terrify people. It wasn't even the best performance of the night.
Oregon's look good. Oregon State has looked good this year, and I don't think a lot of people. That's the thing about these West Coast teams. A lot of people want to use that excuse.
There ain't no Pac-12 after dark for the next 2 games because Oregon State now puts themselves.
Interesting.
They are 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
With Washington next. Sorry, it's not the war. It's the Civil War. If they win against Washington and Oregon, they would win in, but they would have the tiebreakers over both of them. Because
I think the Pac-12 title game. I think Oregon's going to be a playoff team.
And they need an Arizona. Actually, they can off. No, Washington would have 1 loss, so Washington would get in. Oregon State, fucking Arizona. But they have Utah next, so that.
I've been saying it all year. I think Oregon is the best team in the Pac-12.
Playing up there to where they can beat them.
Offended. That should be an interesting one because play defense, so it would be a hard-hitting, physical game and bragging rights of.
With the realignments, are we gonna see Are we going to see the FCS go away within the next 5 years?
Probably.
The Monmouths, the Princetons, the Yales, the Harvards, the Ivy League would be finally out of the 1AA. And I think because there's 1AA, there's the 1AA, which is, like I said, the Big Sky. What's the other one that they play? What's the Celebration Bowl? It's the SWAC versus League. You got the Northeastern Conference, the Patriot League, the SWAC, Princeton, Harvard. That would come up because you're starting to see a lot of these anymore. Exactly. So would you see the 132 teams or the what is it, like 170?
I mean, it's a possibility. The NCAA, they're always going to make these moves because if that happened to be the case.
But I would like it at the same time for the sole fact that it actually means that you're going to get people. No one knew of Princeton basketball until the run they just.
Right.
I follow the Ivy League. I know Princeton because I'm from Jersey. That's the shit. When it's boring, you kind of have anything to watch. You find something to put on. They hate each other. I would love to start Princeton Rutgers. It's an Ivy League battle from the beginning, rivalry too.
Yeah, but to the entire landscape of college football, in these next few. What else happened?
I'll put out my trash bag of the week already.
Okay.
Loses to Texas Tech with 32 seconds. They were winning, or no, they were tied, and they gave up.
Oh wow. Plain and simple. Ohio State
at home.
Look, Ohio State handled their business as the starting quarterback of the Buckeyes. 24-30, man. 7 receptions, 149 yards, 9 yards.
I got another one, not a trash bag, but a game.
Yeah, they handled their business against Tennessee. Remember, Tennessee beat them by
It's the nod to the New Year's Six Bowl.
Who, Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Teams in there, and then you're gonna get the nod to the third place team.
This takeaway from everything was, and the 100 yards receiving. That's just something you don't see in the NFL, where guys would take the game over. And Schrader had 205 yards rushing and 116 yards. He was 18 of 24, 275 yards with the one touchdown, because they were running the football. I mean, Cody was doing what he had to do. Or as a pass catcher. I think the Georgia Tennessee game next week would have had a little more hype to it, but a game on Saturday. But that's just unheard of, where a guy has 200 yards.
Definite. I'll give you one that and we'll talk about the Northwestern with a win next week is bowl eligible.
Through.
Yep.
I mean, they have had such a dark cloud hovering.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it's not the fancy pick to a hazing scandal. You lose everything pretty much in the program to become bowl eligible. That's impressive.
Yeah. Been able to still
keep their favorites going into next week as of right now. So they're but still, that's a story that I guarantee you no one will talk about.
The game. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to college football, Rodney?
Get ready for a boring week next week in games, because it's the SEC quote unquote bye week.
Yeah, and then Georgia has Tennessee, which could be
ahead right now. You got Nebraska, Wisconsin here we go. Fox in Iowa. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
ABC. There's no ESPN night game is going to be Florida, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
ABC
might be previewing. Yep. I won't confirm or deny it.
The Battle of Kansas. Your 4 o'clock games. Okay. Oh, here goes State.
Where's it at?
It's in Jordan O'Hare, but Ohio State. A game that no one's going to talk about, but we might have a pick on it. UNLV. Okay, where's ABC? UCLA USC is a 3:30 on ABC.
The eye-popping schedule that.
What's the nooner on? What I'm going to. All right, so ESPN's got BYU Oklahoma. And Fox is Michigan Maryland. Pac-12 after dark. I don't know. It's either that or it's going to be Utah Arizona. It's probably going to be your pick.
College football. We're going to go to the phone lines. We're going to play some music. Monday Evening Quarterback on Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Blog Talk Radio. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, this is MEQ #. All right, man. All right. Yeah, let me go get something to drink. Stretch the legs.
If there is anyone somehow shoot it out. Oh, this shit's painful. Cool. And another touchdown for. Come on, like. No one gives a shit about Panera.
Yeah, absolutely.
Panera bread. I'm like, no one gives a shit.
I mean, God, I only eat one thing from that.
You're gonna go Panera bread. You go bacon. Not bacon. You go cheddar broccoli bread bowl.
Nah, or when they have their loaded potato soup.
14 zip cowgirls.
Well, we're live.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're.
All right, you
Trust me,
ready?
Blog Talk Radio, is all the edit stuff. This is just us. 2, 1.
Man, welcome back to Monday, 2023. I can't believe Thanksgiving is next week. Can you believe that, Ronnie?
I know.
Basically, and we're gonna have fun on the show next week. Huge shout out to John for the phone call. I work with John on the betting window for Meq for the longest. And again, if that interests you, yeah, come on and talk some football with me on Monday evening quarterback. We already talked about what caught our eye in the NFL because it was a wild day. The way the New England Patriots are 2-8, and I know you and I were talking during a break and McDaniels, and I disagreed with you because I said I don't think he's cut out as the Patriots head coach, and maybe Bill Belichick move. Belichick can't do both. He can't be the head coach and he can't be in charge of. It's just not working out. But then again, with New England to win football games,
Yeah, there's no offense. There's no.
backs, veteran and the younger guys, they all have a go-to guy. You know this. They went and got him Jalen Waddle, and then what did they do? They turned around and they acquired Tyree. They draft Jamar Chase. You're not wrong on that. Because there's way, I mean, it's run the ball.
Names that are on this team. Honestly, there's 3 people that I know on this.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget Juju.
Yards today.
Wow. 1 catch for 9 yards yesterday. Wow. And everybody just always had that debate, you know, who's more important. Look at what Brady did in his first year with Tampa Bay.
Been around Brady.
What, every time they've won a Super Bowl?
Just anytime they made the playoffs. Look at the defense.
Yeah, I think of that 2014 Patriots team, the one that beat Seattle. Yeah. Don't get me started. Always had one thing. Do you know what that was? I want to see if you can figure that out.
Oh,
That's not what I was thinking. All right, you were kind of in a ballpark with the front four. See what it was. They
had elite corners. They had elite linebackers.
But you just said it right there. Seymour was Chris Jones before Chris Jones. You know, Chris Long that they had. Can't think of them, but yeah, they all team was different because it was Bill Belichick kind of taking with Seattle against Denver.
Yeah.
He built his defense from the back end. Brandon Browner. It was Chancellor and it was Browner, who would become known. Belichick kind of went that route. They signed Brandon Browner. They weren't using Darrelle Revis properly in watching him play just as much as I watched Darrelle Revis play. What was his specialty? Playing man to man.
Wasn't that also the aging Ty Law too at that point? Wasn't that the end of Ty Law's career?
When Darrelle got to England, yeah, like Ty Law had been out the league. Nah, Ty Law was way here. Let me see. Ty Law was way out the league. Yeah, Ty Law retired in. He was way out the league. And, you know, they had a defense. And now, God, they've only made the playoffs once. That was the Super Bowl that they won against the Rams. But, man, because it's not looking good. Like, this is the worst I think I've ever seen the Patriots look.
The stuff in the 70s and stuff like that. But I think this is the worst.
You could definitely say that. Come off the bye week. The last game they won, ever since then, it's been a rough stretch because they lost. They got some reinforcements back. First, they traded for Hugh, Nick Bosa, and Fred Warner, all on the same team. And they got those reinforcements that I was talking is more important to this offense than he's given credit for. Everybody wanted to say, but Debo's presence makes all the difference because it's the little things he does without the field it's astounding because he can run jet sweep because they have Christian McCaffrey kind of doing everything off the backfield. But look, I've always called Villa been the hottest team in and entering that game. But though, excuse me, the one thing turnovers, they're not that great of defense. It's almost like the turnover covers up what they got blown out by San Francisco yesterday by a score of looking at it right now, it was 34-3 that we saw at the beginning of the year. Brock Purdy 19 of 26. McCaffrey rushed for 95 yards. Deebo Samuel had a lone rushing touchdown, 16 yards. Did you see that touchdown that George Kittle caught, Ronnie?
Yeah.
You have a linebacker lined up as a cornerback on a tight end. I guess because Purdy couldn't have thrown that ball. Basics. They ran the ball. They punched Trevor Lawrence was sacked 5 times and he threw 2 interceptions. Travis Etienne couldn't get it going. This offense, but it was a tough day at the office.
The one thing that I've noticed too is no one says which broke the record being 2 games shy of Purdy scores 3 touchdowns. Didn't really need to do much.
About Brock Purdy not being
near perfect passer rating too.
Yeah, I mean everybody's seen, and he were putting up the numbers he's put up since becoming a starter on your team.
Yeah. The other thing, I mean, the big Green Bay.
Give him one more year. I mean, this gives me a lot of that 08 Packers team with a young Aaron Rodgers. No one knew what to expect the following year. I'm not saying history is going to repeat itself, but who?
If you go into the draft, these quarterbacks to sit behind Love, you don't pick up his 5th-year option.
Well, it depends.
Find out.
Are they? I think they're 3-7. Let's see.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They would pick
8th. But nah, I think. Look, they drafted Jordan Love to be that guy. I don't know. Put more run against the Rams last week. Jordan Love didn't have to do much because they built the offense. Yeah, build the offense around Aaron Jones because you don't want to put your quarterback in that position. The Packers they lost a tough one to 19. Say what you want about the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the Steelers are 6-3. The AFC North is looking like the most thrilling division in the National Football League, Ronnie. That's a good segue right there because.
Sorry. Let me run down the top 10 real quick for you.
Okay.
Bears get it via Carolina. Packers, Bucks, Broncos, Titans. If it ended today.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, just something to keep an eye on.
Games. That features some AFC North teams. The first one took place in Baltimore. I seen to defend the Baltimore Ravens. They always do. They were up.
Yep.
In that
16.
16.
They just had something yesterday.
And I have taught Baltimore Ravens football. What's been the one thing that I've always said? And then they will blow the lead. We saw last year's Ravens on display, and they came ready to play. The 33-31. Deshaun Watson was 20 of 34. Ran for 107 yards on 17 carries, and Amari Cooper was your leading receiver. Every time I talk badly about Lamar, I'm looked at like I'm a hater. Can't throw the ball consistently from the pocket.
Nope.
Which is.
Did they still have the clinch of the 1 seed?
No, Kansas. Right now, I was just looking at the 4 teams from the AFC North will be in the playoffs. Kansas City will be the 1. Me will be the 4. And then Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and.
Wrong, sir. Wrong, sir. Cincinnati will. Houston has the 7th seed.
Oh, that's
So
right.
with the loss, yeah. By the way, I will stand by it, and I will still stand by it. Buffalo will not make. Yeah, because they got Monday.
Yeah, they play tonight.
Yep.
They just said, look, we're hot. We're playing good football right now. That's not going to cut it because there's no such thing as an easy game in the national. And I'll admit to you, I was concerned because you saw what Houston did with Lovey, and you saw what Houston did with David Culley. I think what works in D'Amico's favor is the simple fact, he knows the Texans brass back to his. CJ Stroud is the real deal. The Bengals go into Cincinnati. I thought they were about to blow it, but touchdown, 1 interception, which is just the 2nd interception of the year. And 150 yards and 1 touchdown. Why couldn't he do this round? 172 yards on 7 receptions. No touchdown. Caught a touchdown. On the Cincinnati side, Joe Bart's 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 4 times. And what's been the issue with Cincinnati?
I mean, injuries. The
offensive ball 11 times for 46 yards.
And Chase was really hindered.
Finished with 124 yards.
Yeah, just because the numbers look good doesn't mean the play is not.
They go into Baltimore on Thursday night. A game that I think somebody
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't preview shit.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Just no, I would just let's put it this way, I wouldn't put my.
I think that game's gonna come down to who can stop the other team's run because they can stop run.
Little sus.
Yeah, a little suspect. And so did the Bengals. A whole lot of money is gonna be in that game because you got 2 of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
He's gonna stay. He's not gonna sit in the pocket.
Just for both teams, especially more so the Ravens, because I look at Baltimore. You saw what they did against the Lions a few weeks ago. Last week, put them away, never look back. But you let a divisional opponent, Watson. Because remember, the first time when they played, it was Dorian Thompson-Robinson. What else caught your eye in the NFL? Let's talk.
Tonight's game.
Yeah, you ready to preview that?
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, let's preview it. Now, the last time we saw Denver, they were putting a hurting on the Kansas. They played coverage underneath, and of the problem, but he's not all the problem. But everyone knows in football, the easy route to go. Yeah, because Sean Payton thinks he still has Drew Brees. One's a future Hall of Famer in a couple years. Russell's a guy who you're not really seeing that too often now. Couple of games. Minus 70-point game. Buffalo. They're a weird team because 3 in a row, and I'm excited for them because I'm saying to myself, okay, maybe they're not going to depend on Josh Allen to do everything. They were running, still getting the ball to Diggs, finding Gabe Davis, getting the ball to Dawson Knox. The C's really. Then I think you lose Matt Milano. You had to go get Rasul Douglas. They're just dependent on Josh Allen way too much. This is probably why Josh Allen doesn't pan out.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I think Buffalo's going to play down. Denver's just not going to let Buffalo walk all over them. Like, Buffalo is going to have to.
7-20, I think you're going to see Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Denver right now is on the upswing, but I agree with you. I think Buffalo will win, but I think it's going to be a lot closer.
So you're thinking it's going to be like a defensive struggle?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think Buffalo is trying to be the guy again.
I don't know what it is. Like, honestly,
what?
I think it's coaching.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because think about it. Look at all the last few teams that Arians was their coach and they won it, right? Offensive-minded guy.
Yep.
Andy Reid, offensive-minded guy. The Rams, Sean McVay, Um, I think they're gonna part. I think a change of scenery. I think a new face would really. Maybe they go after a guy like an Eric D. Um, um, yeah, Buffalo needs something because I think it's coaching. And then you could also think about. You think that has something to do with it too?
Oh, I think that has everything to do with it.
With Brian Dable as his offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that they needed him to be.
Football wise, Ronnie?
No, that's pretty much it.
So you ready to call this a show?
Yep, let's bring
Monday evening quarterback. Man, thank you guys so much. I want to keep up with the Daily Blitz. Log on to the site, which is thedailyblitz.blog. Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever you're calling it these days. Instagram at the Daily Blitz 61. I am still working. Keep up with me through the airwaves every Monday, of course. Monday evening in the Nerdport Network. Myself, and right after, literally, you can catch me on the Prime. I'm on the Prime every David on Point Huffman. That's every Monday and Tuesday, as I just said. Heading window. See, Ronnie, I got it right that time.
Hey, there you
go. Yeah. The good, the bad, and the ugly in sports. Well, they are. I just try.
Someone was about to interrupt, but I won't. I'm not bringing her on this show.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me with Israel Rivera and Matt James on Prime Sports World talking week of college football. Then 20 a.m. in Chicago, Illinois, with Michelangelo Mercado, Marver. And if you need the link to check me out on any of these shows, it wouldn't be a show if I didn't end it without any shout outs. So, of course, huge shout out to my supportive. Thank you for everything you do. And I love you. My dad, love you as well. My beautiful sister Taylor, thank you for your continued about to be 25 years old next month. That makes me feel old, y'all. He was with me when I was recording, but he decided to leave. Daphne, Brandon, Keith, thank you guys for always supporting your boys. Robert Butler, Jason Tyree, Kim L. Fryer, Candace Carter, and I hope it was a great day. Rob, my guy Velo, Corey Harris, Deshaun Elliott, Tiffany and Natalie and Madison and his wife Diana, Kevin Cooper, and their daughter Evelyn, who we all call Evie. And if you are a fan, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about the offseason in baseball, and our moderator D. Cole, who I refer to as Coach, make sure you check him out. Cole's Corner, and hopefully we get to do that very soon. Recording this episode. Oh man, I hear that music. Ronnie, is that what I think it is right now?
Oh yes.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Look, man, that album just State Building was lit in Wu-Tang colors, black and yellow, at Wu-Tang Day. That's a pretty big honor, and